Hey, good morning to you. Good afternoon. Mark again here, WeatherMan Plus. It is a great Monday, so God bless every single one of you. Hope you have a great day today. Now, as y'all know, I took a couple of days off, not only for my Sabbath, but I also took off Sunday because going into hurricane season, last season I kind of deprived my family and we wasn't able to spend much time together. Matter of fact, I didn't even sleep much. So before the season started, I figured we'd spend some time together and we really enjoyed it. So thank you again for understanding, and family really is the most important thing in life, guys. Now we have a lot of severe weather that's going to be happening mostly later this afternoon into tonight, into the overnight hours. And not only tornadoes, very large hail, I'm showing that we're going to have some major flooding that's going to happen. Some people in Louisiana, even possible almost 2 feet of rain. So we'll go through everything I have for you. If you've never been here, hello. My name is Mark. I usually upload every single day. I just took off for Sunday for the family, and I also take off Friday from sundown to Saturday from sundown. That's when I take my Sabbath. So hit that subscribe button. Thank you for joining our community. And to everybody else, share this on social media. Alert your friends and family of what's going to be happening within the next 24 hours. It's all due to this upper level low that's going to move down, become a surface low pressure into central Texas. And all this vorticity going counterclockwise, the high pressure over here going clockwise, is pulling all these dew points right into this general area and is going to meet up with some very cold rainfall that's going to create a lot of convection, a lot of energy for some very severe storms. So let me go through everything I have for you. Remember, all the timestamps are in the description to save you time, so please use them. Now the Euro, the HRR, and the GFS is all showing different amount of precipitation, and I will go through that for you. However, the NAM 3K does show very good detailed information, just like the high resolution rapid refresh. And within the next 60 hours, that's what these videos are up on the top left. On the top, you can see Texas. On the bottom, you can see Louisiana. And the purple is 10 inches plus of rainfall. So this is going to be a lot of heavy rainfall. It's going to cause a lot of flooding. It's already caused a lot of flooding just from yesterday. And for today, you will see rain and thunderstorms in all this green area. However, the main focus is going to be in this red area here in Colorado, as well as for western Kansas and for southeastern Texas and for southern Louisiana for some heavy rainfall, some heavy flash flooding. It will be a lot of flooding in these areas. And this yellow here is just severe thunderstorms that is possible. As you see, this low pressure does move towards central Texas. Now, when you look real closely at composite reflectivity for today, around 1 p.m. Central Time, when the evening starts kicking off, you start getting these cells that start coming with a lot of hail cores, a lot of long-lived cells. That's what that is. Now, when we go from 5 o'clock this afternoon to 6, 7, 8 o'clock, you're going to see it really burst up to a lot of long-lived cells with a lot of hail cores in them. This is going to create a lot of large hail, especially with the warm dew points coming in, high 70s. And then you got the cold rain coming down from the surface low pressure, the upper level low that's causing all this vorticity. It will expand out all night long with some serious cells in these with a lot of heavy hail cores. But you see the explosion that it does cause overnight into the early morning. And here's another look at the beginning of them. Right around 6, 7 o'clock tonight, you can see there will be an explosion. There will be some damaging winds. You can see it bowing out. And as you go through the night, there'll be some strong bands of rain with a lot of hail cores in them. I will show you the hail cores that will expand all the way out until the overnight, into the early morning hour. And when you look at your surface cape to see what kind of energy is pulling up in this storm, you can see right around 11 o'clock this morning, it starts getting some really strong cape values, all the way up to 4,700. By the time you get into 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the afternoon, now it's really going to explode to a lot of energy. You have over 6,000 cape values. Now by 5 p.m. you have a lot of convective energy in the atmosphere from this upper level low, this surface low pressure moving to central Texas, and you can see it bulking up real strong right there, and that's right around 9, 10 o'clock at night. So right around 9 o'clock you can see the upper level low becoming a surface low pressure in central Texas, 6,700 cape values in all this region, which will cause a lot of high convection, a lot of vorticity, which will cause a lot of big hail. 11 o'clock at night, you still see it bursting out with the cold rain that's coming in through the warm surface that's been warm all day. I'll show you temperatures, but it's in the high 90s. But it does explode out all night long into the early morning hours. And the strongest so far is about 11 p.m. tonight. You really get over 7,000 joules per kilogram for cape values, and that is very strong. There's going to be some good chances for tornadoes, some very large hail, and this is mostly going to happen North Texas and northwestern Texas, where all the problems is going to happen until the early morning hours. When you get around 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, then it starts expanding out. Now, as we look through our supercell composite to see where's the biggest chances for all this hailstorms to create, you can see right around 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you start getting some very strong composite readings, over 30 out of 50, but it's going to strengthen even more as the day goes along. Your strongest, matter of fact, is right around 7, 8 p.m. You get 58 out of 50 for a supercell composite, and that's right here in this region, right next to this surface low pressure, right next to this upper level low becoming a surface low pressure, and it strengthens very strong with that vorticity. 9, 10 o'clock at night is still brewing. You can still see the pressure moving, but it's still brewing in southern Texas with a lot of strong values for supercell for the hail. So this will carry on late until 8, 9 o'clock at night. By 10, 11, it's going to spread out with the cold rain. That's going to create a lot of convection, a lot of storms, a lot of damaging winds. Now, starting the morning off at 9 o'clock, when you look at your tornado perimeters, you can see that you do have a good chance for tornadoes to brew up this morning and all the way before noon. And once you hit the afternoon, then the vorticity is really going to speed up. And then you're going to get a lot of chances for tornadoes, mostly in northern Texas. And now you're getting a 17, almost an 18 out of 10 chance for a significant tornado to happen. And you can see how the energy switches from central Texas to southern Texas as this upper level low moves. But all night long into the early morning, you have a chance for tornadoes, very strong chance. I'm showing southern Texas is early in the morning. Northern Texas is late at night tonight. So first, late tonight, you're going to get the upper level low becoming a surface low pressure, a lot of vorticity, a lot of chances for tornadoes in this region. Then as you go into the early morning hours, the threat's going to move to southern Texas, where you're going to still have a chance for tornadoes all the way until 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Now, I'm showing different amounts as far as rainfall, so I'm going to go through them with what you do have. And this shot is from the Euro. It does show you do get 2 to 3 inches for Illinois, northeastern Missouri. But it also shows that you get a chance for 4 to 5 plus inches southern Texas, with everybody getting widespread 2 to 3 inches. And it shows that Louisiana has a chance for 5 to 6 inches, and central Mississippi, right by Jackson, has a chance for over 6 inches. Now, the Euro is showing that it'll be Austin that'll get 4 or 5 inches, with San Antonio getting about 2, 3 inches, and everybody getting widespread 1 to 2 inches in Texas. With the hot spot in Louisiana being west of Baton Rouge with over 10 inches, and right below Alexandria to 6 inches, with Alexandria getting 3 inches itself. But west of Jackson is showing over 12 inches, almost 13 inches of rainfall. And this is only within the next 48 hours. Now, the GFS is only showing that there is a slight heavy spot for 2 to 4 inches for Oklahoma as well as for Illinois. However, this is not trending. All the other models is showing southeast Texas, southern Louisiana, and everybody else getting rain as well. But it's showing the hot spots is down here. And GFS isn't showing any of that. So I'm not showing GFS is even correct. However, the NAM 3K is showing what high resolution rapid refresh is showing pretty much. They're pretty much in agreement. There will be a heavy spot in Illinois for 4 to 6 inches, as well as southeast Texas and southern Louisiana. So according to the NAM 3K, right above Springfield is 6 to 7 inches, with Springfield, Illinois getting 4 inches, Champaign getting 4 inches, and Peoria getting 2 with the surrounding areas. Now, the panhandle of Texas, I am showing you going to have some serious damage and winds you're going to have to worry about, even up to 70 miles per hour wind gusts or greater. However, the rainfall, according to NAM 3K, is showing light amounts, so you need to watch out for hail and tornadoes, and damaging winds is going to be your biggest threat. With Dallas getting almost 2 inches, with the whole surrounding area all the way to Abilene, 2 inches, all the way down to Waco for about an inch. The NAM 3K isn't showing that Austin or San Antonio is getting all that heavier rainfall. It's showing it's only going to be a quarter of an inch. However, I'm showing the heaviest amounts within the next 48 hours will be in Beaumont, Texas, up to 10 inches. Lake Charles, Louisiana, 4 inches just south of you is 5 to 10 inches. But it's really impacting southeast Louisiana, mostly New Orleans. And you can see when you get from Houma, you have 17 to 20 inches possible, even 21 inches. But as you go west of New Orleans, it's showing 2 feet of rainfall. And that is very heavy rainfall. That is a lot of flooding, guys. Now, one of the big factors that's going to play a strong role in this is going to be your daytime temperatures. The surface temperatures is going to be so hot that when this cold rain comes in, it's going to cause a lot of convection. It's going to stir up a lot of energy, and there will be some large hail because of it. But you can see how your temperatures are in the 80s, even the 90s into Texas as you just upper level low moves towards central Texas, It will become a surface low pressure. It will strengthen this afternoon. So you can see right around 5, 6, 7 o'clock this afternoon, you can see the cold rain coming down. You can see the cold rain coming down into these very hot surface temperatures. And it's going to cool down and do a big effect of storms that's going to blow up. It's going to cause a lot of convection with this cool air going down, raising up all this heat. Now, there will be damaging winds, and it will be overnight into the early morning hours. This will just explode out into Texas. Now, if you look at your dew points, you can see why there's a big clash. This is putting very warm moisture in the atmosphere. And matter of fact, when you get around 4 p.m. today, it's when it starts clashing. You got the cool air coming down. You got the very warm dew points coming up. And with that cold rain coming down and these very warm dew points, this will clash and create a very strong storm with very damaging winds. It will bring very large hail into effect, especially for northern Texas. So this will definitely be late night into the early morning hours. This is just going to explode up these storms with this rain cooled air. You can see that you have the marginal in the green today for severe thunderstorms. You have the yellow and slight. You have the orange and enhanced, and you have the red and moderate. So anywhere from Lubbock all the way to Abilene, there's going to be very large hail you need to watch out for, especially some damaging winds also. As well as your tornado threat for today. You have a 2% in all this green here, and this darker area here is a 5%. Same area all the way from Clovis all the way to Abilene. You're in a 5% risk for tornadoes today. And hail is going to be one of the big problems today. Anywhere from 2 to possibly 4 inches of hail. It all depends how close you are to this upper level low with this vorticity. Now with the 5% is in this brown area. You have the 15% in all of this yellow area. Now it's hard to see it because it's covered over with different layers. But if you look at this red to pink layer here, you can see this is our 30% chance for hail for today. From Plainview all the way to Abilene, a 45% chance for hail today. Now you do have a wind threat in this 5%, this brown area, and a 15% for this yellow area for today. And who could see significant size hail, which is 2 to 4 inches, is all the way from Amarillo all the way down to Acuna. Anywhere within this region is significant hail expected. Now to give you the best timing I can, you can see that right around 5:36 p.m. tonight, this is your wind gust. You can see the wind gust does start to pick up for northeast New Mexico, for the panhandle of Texas, and also for Oklahoma. And it does get some strong wind gusts in there. And that purple and that pink you see is 60s, almost 70 wind gusts. So 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Now you're starting to get some strong wind gusts, especially by 10 o'clock. And like I said, this purple right here is 70 miles per hour wind gusts. All this pink is almost 60. All the orange is about 40, and the red is almost about 50. That's some serious wind gusts. And we're going to be dealing with that all night into the early morning hours, especially for especially for the panhandle of Texas and Oklahoma. These 70 miles per hour wind gusts stay with this storm all evening long into the early morning hours. This is by midnight tonight. You still have that problem passing through Oklahoma. And as you go to the early morning hours, it still fades towards southeast Oklahoma as it moves away. And if you look a little bit at the big picture, you can see it right around 7, 8 o'clock. It really expands out. But when you get around 9, 10 o'clock, now you got major damaging winds all across the whole state. You got anywhere from 30 to 40 miles per hour damaging winds, all the way to 50 miles per hour damaging winds, all the way up to the 60 and 70 that's going to be in the panhandle of Texas and for Oklahoma as well. At 11, 12 o'clock at night, you got a big wide variety of damaging winds all across Texas. And this pink you see here is in the 50s, almost the 60s. Matter of fact, that is in the high 60s. So that 70 miles per hour damaging winds is showing for the panhandle of Texas, across Oklahoma and northern Texas. And it does look like it's going towards Dallas. Now this is at 2 o'clock in the morning. Everybody's going to be in widespread 40 and 50 miles per hour damaging winds. Then as it moves through the morning, it goes towards Dallas. It weakens down. But right before it hits you, Dallas, it has some very strong wind gusts, and it does stop right before you. So about 7, 8 o'clock, the damaging winds are going to start up, especially around Haskell and Lubbock. Now, these are 40 and 50 miles per hour wind gusts that will be coming with it. And it will move over towards Dallas, but it will weaken right before Dallas. But before it weakens, especially Jacksboro, it looks like Jacksboro does get some very high damaging winds in the 60s, while Oklahoma is getting the 40s and 50s, and just had some 70s across there. But everybody's got 40s and 50s, and even some 60s passing through as we go through the overnight tonight into the early morning. But you see how it dies down right before Dallas. So Jacksboro looks like you're going to get a lot. Wichita Falls, you're going to be getting a lot of damaging winds, and it will brew up sometime around 8 o'clock tonight. And it will go into your overnight hours. Jacksboro, especially 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, you're going to get some major damaging winds. And then when you get to tomorrow morning, 5, 6 o'clock, it starts dying down a little bit before tomorrow's storms brews up. And Louisiana as well. As soon as you get to about 7 o'clock tonight, you already got 40 miles per hour wind gusts, but then it starts sparking up to about 50 for you as you go through 10 o'clock tonight, mainly Lafayette, mainly the West Bank, Lafayette, and a little bit of Kenner, Louisiana. As you go through 11, 12 o'clock, this 40, 50 miles per hour wind gust will move through southeast New Orleans as it goes to the Gulf, leaving a lot of rainfall. Now, when you look at the dew points, you can see exactly how this is going to burst up. Right around 5 p.m., it's going to come down with that cold rain while you have the very hot surface temperatures, while you have the very strong dew points into the high 70s coming in. Right around Lubbock is where this whole surface low pressure forms up, and you can see the rain-cooled air just burst up over Texas and Oklahoma into tonight, into early tomorrow morning, and then for tomorrow it's going to do it again. So tomorrow has another chance for storms to pop up. It just won't be as strong as this afternoon. These really explode. Once you hit around 5 p.m. this afternoon, it's going to explode overnight into the early morning hours. So this is going to be overnight, all night long. The main threat is going to be for the Panhandle, Texas, Oklahoma, also western Kansas, all the way down to central Texas. This is going to go all the way from Abilene and up. And you can see how it just explodes later tonight into the early morning hours with a high convection, rain-cooled air meeting these hot surface temperatures, and it will cause a big problem tonight. Now, first thing this morning, you can see these cells moving from Texas into Louisiana. And you can see by 10, 11 o'clock, you have some nasty cells. And you can see all these cells that has very high values of hail in them, and they have some big hail cores. And this will be passing first before the big storms later this afternoon in Texas. But really, Beaumont, Texas, southern Louisiana, especially Lafayette, you get some nasty hail cores all the way to 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon. Then it spreads into southern Louisiana with some nasty hail cores all the way until 5 o'clock this afternoon as it moves offshore around 7, 8 o'clock. Look at this. Morgan City, you're going to be last, Morgan City. They're going to be hitting you with some hail cores all the way until 9, 10 o'clock at night. So as you go into your afternoon, you can see exactly how these hail cores go. And you can see right here also for Arkansas, you're getting some nasty hail cores passing through you, especially around 5 o'clock this afternoon. These are some very nasty hail cores. They will drop some considerable size hail, especially for Texas as well. Look at these hail cores that you have all over your area. And this is by 5 o'clock. It didn't even really start yet. As you go into the evening, 6, 7 o'clock, then you're going to see it explode into some serious storms. They're going to go across Colorado. It's going to go across western Kansas as well. 9, 10 o'clock, then it starts spanning out with that rain-cooled air, and it will start a lot of convection. And this will give you a lot of chance for supercell activity, a lot of hail cores. And then look, right at 10 o'clock, look at all these hail cores that are moving into everybody's area. And this is dropping a lot of hail. And this isn't going to just be one time. It's going to go all night long and keep brewing up into the early morning hours for tomorrow. 2 a.m., you still have some nasty hail cores passing through. This is going to be all night long into the early morning hours. And you can see the storms brew up again for tomorrow. Some more hail cores right below Snyder, Texas, as tomorrow brews up. And then as you get into the early hours for tomorrow, then you're going to see a big band. And this is going to go all the way until at least 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. You can see all the hail cores going into Texas by 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, as well as you can see all these hail cores passing through Louisiana. So this will be a lot of hail cores with this system. So here we are, so you can see everybody's pretty much impact starting around 5 p.m. this afternoon. You can see the hail cores, you can see the rotation in the air. Look at the storms for Arkansas. Louisiana gets it first with all these nasty hail cores popping through the south. I'm sure you're going to get some tornado warnings out of that. But once you get around 6 o'clock the afternoon, look at northern Texas. Just hail core after hail core just forming up all night long. 2 o'clock in the morning, popping up again, especially by Lubbock. And this is going to go all night into the early morning hours. And tomorrow, these storms are still going to be brewing. And by the time you get to about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you still got a lot of hail cores going all the way from Brady all the way to Dallas, Texas. And this will expand out tomorrow afternoon. Look at this. Widespread hail cores all across Texas from Brady to Dallas. And this is 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. You have it all across Louisiana and western Mississippi next to Jackson. And this will go to all tomorrow afternoon as well. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you see some strong hail cores still going over for Dallas, Gatesville. As you continue into tomorrow afternoon, you see the hail cores do continue with this line of storms, and it will continue until tomorrow night. Now I got this on high resolution rapid refresh. That way you can see the next 48 hours of what these storms could be looking like. All I ask, please share this on social media. Help me alert others to these possible impacts and the serious flooding that will happen. At the same time, I'd like to pray for you all. God bless you all. May you all be okay through all this. There will be a lot of damaging winds, a lot of flooding, and a lot of hail. So let's give glory to our God. Without him, we are nothing and we are lost, guys. So God bless you all. Psalm 46. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. Selah. There is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad the city of God, the holy place of the tabernacles of the Most High. God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. God shall help her, and that right early. The heathen raged. The kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice. The earth melted. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Selah. Come, behold the works of the Lord. What desolations he hath made in the earth. He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow, and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot in the fire. Be still, and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Selah. Amen. God bless you all. I do hope y'all will be okay through this. I know there will be a lot of impacts. There will be a lot of power outages, so make sure you use the links in the description. I do have poweroutage.us in there. That way you can keep up with that. I do pray for you all. All glory does go to God, God of Jacob. Amen. Hallelujah. God bless you guys. Have a very blessed day.